Hi, welcome to Art by Anna Marie. I'm Anna Marie and today I'm going to teach Kath how to paint a sunflower.
I'm very excited.
It's her second ever painting, so comment below if you're going to try this sunflower. Kath actually found the picture online and sent it to me and said, shall we paint this next? So
Yes.
We'll put a little clip of the sunflower up now, which we hope it's going to end up looking like. And to start off with, you're going to need your palette, your paint, some paintbrushes and some water. We're going to keep it really simple today. Okay, so what I thought you might want to do, because it's your second only painting,
Is sketch out the sunflower.
Yeah, do you want to sketch out the sunflower?
I thought that too.
Okay, so we're going to take a circle in the middle.
It's got cat hair on it already.
So the way I was taught to sketch is that you want to be doing spider legs and not elephant legs. Which is fine. I'm just saying, like, this is probably more of a spider leg.
Fine.
And don't rub out the whole thing. If you do it
I'll do it light again, but
if
better.
you do it too dark, you just want to rub out bits. Okay? And you don't want to rub your hand over your paper, because the oils from your hand are going to go all over your paper and then your watercolour is not going to stick to your paper. So if you find that you have a problem with your paper and the watercolour attaching to it, you probably need to wash your hands.
Which I've already done because I've been outside today. Your circle's bigger than me.
So what you notice with the picture is that there's actually a couple of layers of petals.
Yeah, they're overlapped, aren't they?
Yeah, so that I've done a front layer and then a back layer, but I'm not going to paint exactly in my petals. I'm going to do it a little bit looser.
Yeah, it's a guideline.
We want to start with a middle colour for the sunflower, and we're going to layer this colour. So we're going to start with a brown. We're going to start with this brown here. And a lighter brown. I always start with my lightest colours because you can always add colour, you can't take it away. Do you remember how we applied the wash last time?
Yeah, put the water on first and then did the colour second.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I'm going to take, because I've got colour on my paintbrush, I'm going to remember holding my paintbrush sideways to get maximum surface area, and then I'm going to use my water to fluff it out.
Okay. So, okay.
Remember, we like those bits.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Mine was a bit light, so I'm just dabbing on. Mine was a bit light, so I'm just dabbing on some extra. Very nice. That's really good. All right, so I'm going to go for the slightly darker brown, the orangey brown in the palette.
Wasn't that one? Oh, that's
Yeah.
red, isn't it?
That's orangey brown. Yeah. And then I'm taking it from the end of the wet area and I'm just feathering it in, just fluffing it in, because remember the inside of the sunflower is quite fluffy.
Like that?
Yep. And then the darkest brown, which is this one. I don't have it in my palette, so I'm stealing yours. And that's the one you want to take. So watching this,
Yeah.
put it on your circle and just fluff it in,
Okay.
because that's going to be the end of your circle, but without having a actual line.
Yeah.
And then I put a little bit of dots in the middle as well, because you know they'll have rows and rows. That's a kind of layer. We're going to get a little bit of the light green. And we're going to dab it onto some of the wet spots.
Okay. Green?
Yeah, it's just going to add a little extra element. Yep.
A bit dark, why not? Just water them out.
Yeah, that looks good. Excellent. So that's going to start drying. We're going to move on to our petal. So it kind of starts orange and goes yellow at the end.
Yeah, so we start with the yellow.
Yeah, because if we start with orange,
It's the darkest colour.
yeah, and it's going to kind of run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to get right at the edge of where our last kind of,
Which yellow? The lightest yellow.
yeah.
So we're doing the back leaves.
Yep. So don't paint dry. Go put the water straight back on there because you've got a lot of yellow on there.
Yeah, okay. I'll go back to it.
Don't let that dry.
My elephant lines are too dark on.
Might be alright. That's the great thing about watercolour though, is you sometimes don't mind if you see the pencil lines because it just adds another element. Some people hate it. I always try to leave a few pencil lines in because I quite like it. Okay, so now you're going to get your orangey yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, and just watching this, you want to take it, ready? You want to take it where it's still wet and you're only applying a very little bit of pressure. You're not doing it like that.
Okay, so
You're
like
just
this.
doing quite a little bit of pressure. Yep. If yours aren't wet enough, you'll need to go back through and reactivate the yellow.
Okay.
Yeah. This can blow your mind a little bit. You want to mix up a little bit of purple, that's red and blue, but I've got a little bit on my palette here already.
Okay.
Okay, because I bought it. It's not in these palettes.
Okay.
So you can use a little bit of mine. And then you're going back where the orange was again. Okay, so
Okay.
it's going over the orange.
With this wet bit purple here or this bit purple
This bit.
here? Oh, mine made it go brown.
Yes, okay. Yep, that's it. And that will continue to kind of,
So if I was a beginner and I hadn't bought that purple, how would I make it?
just the red and the blue.
Okay.
Mix it together until you get a really light purple wash, which is what I used to do and then ended up just buying a purple because it's quicker. Good job. Now if we go and do these front ones,
Yeah.
all that
merge.
wash, yeah, it's going to end up looking like mud, so we're actually going to have to pause there and by the magic of technology, when we come back, that curtain will probably be closed because it's shining a bit on the paintwork, and we will be ready to continue. Oh, so we're all dry. And we're going to go with the inside layers. We're going to start with the same yellow that we started with before. We're going to do a quick wash of that, and then we're going to add in some orange.
Okay. Sounds simples.
Petals are so much better expressive, so if you just want to flick the paint up instead of trying to apply it really neatly, so like this. Watching? Ready? Okay. Okay. So you don't really want it all to be one. Yeah, that's right. But try not to be too dry. It's really difficult working with your wife or your children, I'm imagining, or your pets. So I've left quite a lot of white space in mine because that's, once you paint over your white space, you can't get it back. Nice. Great. All right, so now you want to take your orange.
I'm finished this one.
I'm going to use some of yours because I've got, in the palettes we've got a dark orange and a light orange. So you want to take your lighter orange and you want to go from the middle. And if it's too dark, like I think that's too dark.
Okay, yeah, that's dark.
Yeah, even though it's going to dry a lot lighter, if it's too dark, I'm just going to get some water, take some of it off and put it on the next petal.
Okay.
Take some of it off and put it on a previous petal.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's this one, yes?
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be a bit dark, so put it in the mixing bit. Yep. That should be good. We're going to take the brown we originally started with.
The light brown.
Yep. Put it in a mixing container as well because you don't want it to be too thick.
Okay.
And then you're going to add that. Now you're going to add it on the underside of the petal. So this is the top and this is the underside. So if you have a petal, we're going to put it on the underside.
Okay. Oh, can I watch you do it?
Yeah. So what we don't want to do is a line.
Yes, which is what I just did, yeah.
What we do want to do is take our brush sideways.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah, nice. Remember, it doesn't have to go all the way up the petal. That's good. And this one, the underside, is going to be here. Awesome. All right, we're going to take some more of our purple. And we're going to put that where we just put the brown. And we're just going to dab it on. Okay, and you can see how the middle of our sunflower now has gotten a little bit light because the wash has dried lighter. So we're going to go back over it with our brown. Trying to leave it quite mottled. Go over it with our middle brown again. I don't want to lose the mottled effect, so I'm keeping it a bit of a light touch because I'm just going to add, I just want to add a layer of depth. And then a bit of our darker brown. Yeah, that's great. Then we've got our outside petals, and we want to take our orangey yellow, and we want to take
This one.
Yep, a little bit of a definition from the side and from the middle. So the middle, and this time I am doing a light kind of border. So let me show everybody at home. So this time I'm taking it from the middle, and then I am taking a bit of a light border. When I have that border, I'm getting some fresh water and I'm dabbing it in that border.
To lighten it up.
Well, what that's going to do is it's going to push the colour to the edges, and I like that. That watercolour look where it pushes the colour. So when you, see when you push your colour, taking some of it off.
Yeah, it's too dark.
Yeah. Your paintbrush is too full. Okay, so that's fine. Now, clean your brush and dab a bit of clean water in there. Okay, and then let that dry, and then that's going to create that kind of watercolor effect.
Okay.
When you're dabbing, so you want to make sure you've done your line.
Yeah.
So watch here. So you've done your line.
So yours is a super light touch, even though you're doing the edge.
So that's the line, right? Then I've got clean water, and I just dab it in. Don't worry about it after that. Don't keep dabbing it. That'll do its thing now. And the water will actually, the clean water fights with the pigment and pushes the pigment to the edge of the water.
Okay.
Awesome. There you go.
That's fine.
So now what I like to do to get a little bit of depth in there is we're going to take the tiniest bit of green. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to mix it in with our brown from earlier. Okay, so it's this kind of weirdish green, and we're going to put that at a couple at the tips. So watch this. Just a little triangle,
Okay.
light touch. Okay.
Mine's really wet.
That's okay. It's just experience knowing how much water to use when you're laying colour down, and you're only 2 hours into your 10,000 hour journey, Catherine. So that's all got to dry. If we add anything else on the top of it at this point, it's just going to turn into mud. So we just have to let this bit dry. We'll have a look back at your picture that you liked originally and see what else we have to do.
The blue.
The background.
Yeah, and then it's finished. What's next?
Okay, so that is pretty much dry. There's just a couple of things we want to do. We want to do a blue wash for the background, and then we want to use a finer paintbrush and just make some of the details pop a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so for this one, we want quite a bright blue background because I think that's what you quite liked to begin with. I'm actually going to use a different paintbrush, and I'm going to let you use a different paintbrush as well. I'm going to put a link to these below. They're the Winsor & Newton Pure Squirrel brushes, and they just hold so much water that you can get pretty much all your background done with one dip.
Okay, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to wet your paintbrush. We're going to make a wash with this really pretty bright blue that we have. So we're going to put some water in our container. And then we're going to get the really vibrant blue and add it in. And we're actually going to go quite dark with this. You can kind of see there how much water they hold. Okay, so you can just take your water straight in and mix up your blue. Okay.
Okay.
And then when we've got our blue, we're going to take it. Now this is the tricky bit. You're going to use the tip of your wash brush and you're going to glide it on so that it misses your petal by 1 millimeter.
Okay.
If it doesn't matter. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to glide it on. When it starts looking dry like that, just get some plain water and fill in those bits.
Okay.
We want to have this kind of an angle, so we're always going to be pulling out the water from that way.
Okay.
So you want to go around your petal and pull the water out that way. And again, we want to keep those white spaces.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Oh, you're going to need, yeah, because you've gotten a fresh brush. Yeah, so it needs to be quite wet. If you find it easier to pull down, you can turn the painting around and paint it down towards you. This is usually the bit that takes the most concentration because you're trying to match up your background to your sunflower, and you don't necessarily want your background to touch your sunflower because it's going to, obviously blue and yellow are going to make green. We haven't left the yellow wash for very long to dry, so some of the pigment will actually lift off. But also it's just one of those kind of watercolor techniques where you have to make a decision about how you want your background. Do you want your background to butt up to your foreground? Do you want to do a wash like what we showed you last time with the tree? If you haven't seen that background, then we'll put a link to that in this video. And that's a different way of applying a background. So there's a few different ways. You could have actually have started this sunflower as well, by doing the blue background and then filling in the yellow.
Which is what I thought we were going to do.
It's all just personal choice. I prefer it this way because I like to get my lighter layers down first.
Oh no.
Don't worry about that.
Don't
worry about it. That's the great thing with watercolours, is as soon as something like that happens, you can
cry
patty
about it, make more dots.
Make it patty work. Remember we were going to try to leave some white spaces?
No, you said fill it all in.
No, remember I was showing, like, literally
white spaces.
Literally showed you.
Leave white spaces around the petals, you said.
1 millimetre from the petal.
And fill the rest in, like a colouring in book.
It's really not what I said. Apologies if it is, but
I've got white spaces like this.
Yeah, it's good to leave a few white spaces because we're going to come back with another wash and kind of go over that. But that's fine. Yours will just be a little bit darker, which is not a problem.
Which is how I wanted it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I like the vibrant blue.
Yeah. Okay. Well done. So you've kind of done everything you can with this layering brush. If you continue to layer with it, it is going to pull up your background. So we just clean it. It holds so much water, so when you clean it, you just have to kind of pat it down. I'll do a vlog about those if you guys want to see how to use them properly, or how I use them. So get your, use that thinner one now. Get your other paintbrush from earlier, back to using my Series 7 brush, straight into the blue. And then what we're going to do, which we learnt last time, is we're going to take a line.
Oh, did it? You put blue on your paint and not just swooshing this around?
No, I grabbed some pure blue.
Yeah.
Don't make it all like a zebra.
No.
Just every now and then.
Yeah.
You're going to take a different one.
Okay.
Okay. We're kind of trying to create a little bit of depth in the background. Remember, I never did that because I tend to not do that. So remember, you're taking it on the side and you're doing a little bit of a... See? I really hope they can't hear the neighbours.
It looks like a zebra.
Well, yours are pretty evenly spaced. You're just a beginner. You're only 2 hours in. Yeah.
It's a big thick zebra stripe.
Yeah, and then you want to just, you can kind of have a thinner one there. Have a thinner one there. Okay, so before it gets too dry around here,
Yeah.
I've got yellowish water. Before it gets too dry around here, you want to just feather it out. See what I did there? I just got a little bit of water, not too much. I can do it on mine, but yours is drier than mine.
No, that's...
See, a little bit of water.
Yeah.
And you're just feathering it out.
Okay.
See how it's moving?
Yeah, yeah.
Just a little bit, and then just feather it out from those bits. And you're going to have to work a little bit quicker, because once you've done that, you're going to get a bit of the purple from earlier, and you're going to put it in here.
Okay.
Okay? And then that's going to create a little bit of a shadow from where the flower is.
So water in there.
Yeah. Clean water.
I did clean water.
Feels like to me like you did it.
Is that what you meant? Make a puddle?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, take some of it off. It's just because you're working quite slow, because you're new, you had to reactivate. You have to reactivate your corners.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in those corners, you're going to get a bit of your purple. And you're just dabbing the purple in. It's such a subtle difference, but it will make the difference between it looking like there's a bit of a shadow and like there's not.
Okay.
Okay. So you're not just trying to wet it, you're trying to activate the layer. So you swoosh it around a little bit.
Okay, so I'm supposed to be getting the paint moving again.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's it. I'm going to add a little bit of the brown to the purple because we want to make a grey. I already own a grey, but in case you haven't bought a grey at home, just add a little bit of blue and brown.
Is that okay?
Yep.
It looks slightly less zebra-y now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and it will continue to move. So we've just made a little bit of a grey green.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to put that where the purple is as well, but we're going to take that as a line. Okay?
An actual make zebra stripes?
No, it's the same as the blue line was meant to be.
Yes, that's what I mean.
So take it from your purple, which is still wet, and it might end up being somewhere where it's dry, but that's okay. So the thing you notice is that it really just becomes about adding in a little bit of extra colour to make a little bit of depth. Really good. And what I like to do, you don't have to do it, but I really like it to look really watery in the background. So I've loaded up my paintbrush with quite a lot of water, and I'm kind of deciding that here I'm just going to activate that bit there, because I like it to be like less precise. And see, I've activated that. And then I'm going to go in with the blue, and I'm dabbing it because I want to make that bit a little bit darker.
Okay.
So you can decide anywhere on your page. And then I'm going to go in with my purple, and it's going to be quite dark. Then I'm going to go in with a clean water, and I'm just going to drip that there, and that's going to spread all my colours to the edges. And then I'm just going to decide where I want to do that. Just makes a bit of a tonal difference. You'll see when it dries. Would you like to try that technique? Or are you going to leave yours as is?
A little bit advanced for me at the moment.
Alright, no problem. So now what we have to do is we have to make our sunflower pop a little bit more. So we want to go with a finer brush. So you're going to go with A1. And then we're going to match the same colours that we used for the petals, but we're going to go just with the oranges, and we're going to do a few sketchy strokes to make it look like they are popping.
Okay.
Shall I show you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Shouldn't we wait till our blue has dried?
We don't really need to, because if we accidentally touch the blue like that, that doesn't matter. That's just going to keep creeping and it ends up looking really nice.
Okay.
So if we end up touching the blue, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. We're obviously going to try not to. Okay, so I'll walk you through that again. Got my orange.
Yeah.
I'm going to take just
So this is just for the inside.
the inside. I'm going to take my tip, laying it on. Then I'm getting some water, clean water,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just dotting it.
Right. Okay.
That's going to make those pop.
Okay.
So you're looking to do an outline here,
Okay.
but you don't want it to be like a full line. You just want it to be kind of the hint of a line.
Okay.
Okay? We've really upped our game for lesson 2. But I want you to be proud of the painting.
So, like this.
Yep. Yep. And then water.
Then what?
Put the water in it. Yep. And then you can take it down here a little bit. That's it. And then you can do a little bit here. And then leave it. Okay. And then you're going to do, which are other.
They've all merged.
You've got another one here.
Yeah.
So you'll want to take it around like that. Then when you get to there, add your water.
Okay.
Then you get a bit more. Take it down. Add a bit of water.
Oh, because I was deliberately trying not to do a pointy line.
You don't have to do, not super pointy, you wouldn't do it joined up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm just going to make you one here. And so that bit's going to be a little bit darker there because it joins on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so try not to do really exact ones. Try to make it a little bit like it's moving in the wind. That's nice. We've already sent a photo of this to Kath's mum to see if she could guess what it was. She couldn't. Okay, all the inside ones. Yeah, thank you. Give you another one over here. And you can do a couple of insides like that. And you've got to do one here. Okay, so that has dried. We've now got 2 things left to do. We're going to do some detail in the middle of our sunflower and we're going to do some detail in the petals and then we are done.
Yay!
So we're going to take the previous squirrel that we used earlier. We're going to tap it into the dark brown. If you've got purple at home, you want to put some purple on it as well. Want to make it a little bit dark. If you've got some black, add some black too. We want it to be very pigmented, and what we're going to do is we're going to do little squirrely things. Okay, we are not doing perfect circles. Do not waste your time. We're splodging them on. It's kind of like scribble, and I'm purposely doing a circle of scribble. And then I'm going to leave that bit. I'm going to do my circle of scribble there. See if you can do it in under 15 seconds. Go.
Do I need to dip in?
Yeah, do some black and brown. That's it.
It's hard with this brush.
We just want it to be messy. Nice, yep, in the middle bit. Alright, that's going to dry. You're going to take the tip of this brush as well, and you're going to get your
Dark red, is it?
dark orange.
Well, you've done extra squiggles.
Or you can do the same. I was just occupying myself. Cool. Then I'm going to get my dark orange, my medium orange, not my darkest one. I'm putting it in with my lighter orange, and I'm making this. I've done this bit already to show you. So I'm taking the outside and I'm just doing
With this big thick brush.
an outline. It'll give her like a really nice point, but if you feel more comfortable, change over to the one.
Oh, I'll give it a go with this one.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
So this medium orange is this one, is it?
Yeah. And then take a little bit of that on it as well. That's it. And really lightly, just go over your outside. Don't press hard. Perfect. Right, you're going to do all those outside bits.
All of them.
Yeah, maybe use this one because this one's a bit thinner. I took the thin one. That's it. Take it all the way where your pencil was, because that's where your
Oh, okay.
kind of, you see where that pencil is. So here, it doesn't matter if you go over the blue because you're painting. If you don't want to go over the blue, don't go over the blue. But I like it to look kind of windswept. Pushing some of the colour up the flower, which also adds a bit of depth. Then I want to get some of the purple, and I'm just going to dot it in around where I've just put my orange. Try to get it all the way around. So we know that some of our light's coming from the top, because that's what we said we were going to do earlier. So we've filled the brush with the brown, and we're going to take it over. Doesn't matter that it's smudging these bits that we did quite quickly. Going to take it over, leave a gap, get some more, and we're just smudging it. Okay?
Okay.
Then one more in the middle. Okay? That's it. Leave a gap. In the middle. And this gap here.
We're going to go with the yellow.
Okay, so there you have it. your first ever sunflower.
Yep.
I think it looks pretty spectacular. If you have liked it, give it a like, and well done to Kath because it is your first sunflower ever.
Yeah.
You're happy with it?
I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like when it's dried.
Yeah.
Because it looks different when it's dried, as I learned earlier.
Yes. And you're going to pick the next thing, or shall we let the commenters pick the next thing?
Yeah, so 2 questions for you. 1, whose painting would you like to see from the top down angle?
Oh yeah, when we're...
So is it better if you see Anna Marie's or mine? And the second question, what do you want us to paint next? Something really easy, please.
And also, if you're on Facebook, join the Art by Anna Marie Facebook group because people are posting pictures of their own paintings and we can kind of all have a look at them as well. It's very encouraging and inspiring to see people starting their painting journey. Yeah. We are 2 hours into our 10,000 hours of painting.
It's a long time.
Thanks for painting along with us today.
Thank you. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm sure we'll do some more painting videos in the future, as well as watching. You'll get to watch all of Anna Marie's wonderful daily paintings.
Yes. Thanks guys.
Thanks. Bye.